Everyone, sorry I haven't posted recently. Don't have much to change or really talk about other than the latest patch released Benefactor and Towers. I've been trying to mess with those for a little bit in the beta and on release. I will say that I feel that Benefactor could have been better. I was really looking for an AoE buff to our summons so that we could get permanent attack up and match up as like the Charmer class does, or sorry, Charmer specialization. However, it does not look like we're getting that, so maybe at some point he will update, or the devs will update these skills so that they will allow them to do AoE casting. But until that time, you can swap between Charmer and Benefactor. Again, Benefactor is kind of nice just because you don't have to waste that time to buff up your minions. As we all know, the topmost summon is the most difficult to buff with Charmer, and it honestly just gets on my nerves, so sometimes I just stop trying to cast it. However, Benefactor did come with the Ancient Djinn. Again, like I said, I wasn't really too impressed with Benefactor, but after using Ancient Djinn in Horde mode, it does make it go a lot faster, especially if you can get a few of them out there. With my gear currently, which is not the greatest, it can hit for about 20k depending on the mobs. I've been testing it out in towers, and it has been working fairly well, at least in the lower levels. Once we get to the higher levels, it struggles, as all our summons do, to kind of penetrate the defenses of the enemies there. However, it has been pushing me through. I was able to complete, I believe, a level 40 tower with my current gear, and I am Ascendance rank 7. However, it was really difficult, and I've only been able to complete one tower so far, to be honest. I have got one shot by succubuses on floor 20s. It was so fast that I didn't even get a chance to even see the loading screen. It just loaded into "You have been defeated, have a nice day." So that makes it a little bit difficult. Here's the gear I'm currently running. I feel like I'm trying to basically equip my best gear to stay alive. The one thing that I have swapped to is the cataract for dangerous. I'm probably saying that wrong. Cataphract? I'm not sure. Either way, I've swapped to this to kind of avoid one shots, or in hopes that I would avoid one shots. However, I mean, as a summoner, your stats are still fairly low. I think even with this equipped, my ward is only about 21k, and I only have like 7.1k health. It is a big difference to Benefactor, though, with the negatives. I'm not sure why the devs feel that we need to have so many negatives and stat reductions. I'm assuming it's more of a PvP nerf than in any relation to PvE. As you can see, we lose 15% health, 30% defense, and 30% res. So that puts us in the one-shot factor for just pretty much about anything. So with Benefactor on, I have about 6k health and 17k ward. So it's pretty dangerous to run into towers, and or pretty much anything for that matter. It's a little scary. I was using Appease too, which some people have stated that Appease does not work. I will say that I use Appease in gauntlets a lot, and it seems that I was able to get up to floor 200s a lot more easily with Appease 2 active than with Benefactor. Benefactor now I'm dying at probably like floor 150, so it's pretty frustrating. I don't know if the stat loss is even worth it, and I don't really know why the devs keep punishing this class with the stat loss. I guess obviously we have our RNG defense that is supposed to help us for that, but again, it's straight RNG, and I feel like there's some mobs that'll just hit you right through that repeatedly, which is my segue into tower mobs that I've chosen to avoid at all costs. At higher floors, I recommend avoiding the succubus. They seem to be us at attacking first, which could potentially one-shot you and end your round before you get ward up if you don't have Kata on. The other mobs I've been avoiding are the Mighty Mimic that has all of the really strong T10 mobs that horde with it. That one seems pretty dangerous to fight. And at higher floors, I recommend staying away from Balder. He has ended me a couple times now as well, just because it seems like his mobs will target the summoner more often than the summons, which again, this is just my opinion, but it just seems like that's the case. Along with Nidhogg. Nidhogg has ended my runs a few times now. With his summons, he just hits right through. I had 4 turns on Nidhogg, and every turn he hit my summoner, even with Kata on, and I just couldn't survive just because of the big chunks on the floor that I was on. It just dropped my ward almost immediately. So those are the ones that I've been having the most trouble with. Let me know what you guys have been having the most trouble with in the comments. I would like to hear it, and any suggestions or tips that you guys have been doing or anything that you've seen that's been successful for you, let me know. I'm really just trying to hoard the shards right now in order to unlock the latest classes. I think those will be the most fun, and it'll also help getting rid of some of the dead passives that the standard T10 summoner build has right now. And that is all. So I may go over, once I have the new class unlocked, I'll go over that a little bit more detail and what I think is fun with it, what I think is good, and any builds that I've come up with. So stay tuned. Thanks, everyone.